Hello, Christopher Brent here, coming to you today with a podcast on music and politics, as well as religion and a few other spiritual and philosophical areas that are part of music. So we're just coming off the Thanksgiving holiday, which was an absolute blast. It's really one of my favorite holidays of the year. You're getting together with family, having food, watching football. And in our case here in Detroit, we're watching the Lions, so it's usually a disaster when it comes to that. But I'm a lifelong Lions fan, so I'm always sticking with the team, which makes me feel like I have to check into a mental institution at times. But anyway, I love our Lions. But anyway, on the topic of music and politics, when you go to a concert, it's often the case that the artist or the group will go on a political rant. And I notice that people often complain about that, or they often talk about keep the music out of, or keep the politics out of the music, just play, they'll yell, things like that. And I get that, but I mean, looking at music, looking at its history, looking at what it's about, it's really difficult to keep religion or keep spiritual aspects or philosophical aspects or politics, to keep that completely out of the music and just think of the artists or the musicians as just robots who have no say or in anything. I mean, going back centuries, I mean, Johann Sebastian Bach was a very devout Lutheran, wrote his music with the glory of God in mind for the church, in that sense, the Lutheran church, which he was very active in. I mean, you look at the music of Shostakovich in communist Russia, Prokofiev, the Iron Curtain, what they were dealing with. I mean, you look at, obviously, music of the Vietnam era in the 1960s here in America. It was obviously, the music was mixed into the political situation. You know, whether you agree with it or not, it's very much part of it. I mean, you could look at many different eras throughout history and see a lot of political and philosophical influences from the culture at the time. I mean, go through the Romantic period and you're going to see it left and right, just different revolutions that were going on in Europe, and obviously this was reflective of the music at times. It doesn't mean in every case, but it means that it's going to be reflective of whatever the situation is. If you're obviously going through war, your music is going to reflect that. If there's some sort of inequality or some sort of oppression going on, then your music is going to reflect that. It's going to be part of the culture. You can't just eliminate that and just expect the musicians to get up there on stage and just never, ever mention it their entire career. Now, when like someone like Bruce Springsteen gets up there and says something that I don't agree with, I don't fault him for saying it or for mentioning it or something like that. I just might disagree with it, and I could have a discussion with him if he ever wanted to talk to me. But, you know, that's one thing. But, I mean, I can't expect, you know, him or another artist like Bono and U2, you know. I'm just thinking of artists that are known for making political rants. But I don't mind them doing that. I mean, in some cases it gets a little bit provocative. Maybe what Madonna does, I don't agree with some of her philosophical positions and some of the things that she does on stage. You know, it can get extreme, and I suppose at that point you would have to talk about whether something is, you know, inappropriate when it comes to the content and what you're actually physically doing on the stage. But I just want to basically let everybody know, or anybody that might be listening to this, that a little music, a little politics, a little religion, a little philosophy is okay. To me, it matters more about what they're actually saying and what they're expressing. That's what's the most important thing. I can't really expect the musicians to just never talk about some of the things that they're expressing in their music ever in their career or ever at a live show. I think that's a bit extreme. So that's just the point that I'm trying to make. I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head throughout music history, all the composers and artists who expressed issues that were going on in their time. I mean, one that comes to mind is maybe Richard Wagner, the operatic composer. If you want to look at the Romantic period, there was definitely a lot of spiritual and religious things that were expressed in the music of Franz Liszt at the end of his life. Beethoven and Mozart and Haydn were all writing music for the church. Now, they may not have personally been extremely devout. That varies from historian to historian to exactly how devout they were in terms of their religion, and that's another discussion in and of itself. But religion is a part of music, and philosophy and politics are a part of culture and our life, and music breathes that, and it expresses that. So you can't just expect, Bruce Springsteen to just shut up and play, you don't necessarily want it to be 95% of his show and no music, just him ranting. I guess you can't have that, but it's okay to have that expression there. You want to talk about your political beliefs. Okay, that's fine. I'm a big Dave Matthews fan. He said some things I don't agree with, and that's fine. I still, love his music, and I don't mind him saying a few things. Some of them, are worthy of taking seriously, I suppose. And if I don't agree with it, I don't agree with it, and I am fine with that. And he's actually a good example of someone who does not get up there on stage and do incredibly, over-the-top things like maybe Madonna or Marilyn Manson or somebody, would have been doing back in the day. So that's just my take on it. If you have any thoughts, feel free to comment. Although people get crazy with the comments on YouTube, I know. Subscribe to my channel if you like this content. Share it. I'm a piano teacher in Troy, Michigan here. I have a great studio. And if you are interested in lessons online via Skype, you can email me at chrisbrentmusic@gmail.com. Also visit my website at www.christopherbrent.com, and you can also find me on Twitter and Facebook. Okay, I am going to sign off, and there will be many more future podcasts to come with either me talking about the subject of the day or perhaps doing an interview with someone else. So, okay, I am signing off, and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.